Hey guys, this is Sam and we are still in the workshop. So today, just while I was working on this, I thought I would do a little video showing you guys and telling you guys my thoughts. Now this is the new Jingong SVU, so this is the Bullpup SVD, the Bullpup variant of the SVD. Now, I'm not sure who's labelled it as Jingong, but this is Cyma. This is about as Cyma as Cyma can possibly get. But as with their regular SVD, it's surprisingly good quality. I mean, I've always loved the SVD platform. The Real Sword design is just outstanding. Got one of them myself. I would highly recommend one. But in terms of performance and the quality of the internals, the Cyma variant is really excellent value for money. So we're kind of 2/3 of the way through the upgrade here. I'm just gonna point out some little things and tell you what I think. So this is the kind of action, if you like, that comes inside the gun. You've got a really nice kind of good quality bearing spring guide, a nice strong linear spring, so that's going to last a good while. You've got probably the best Cyma piston, really strong kind of nylon reinforced it looks like, with steel release teeth. I mean the Cyma piston heads are pretty solid. You've got a good quality cylinder, so really, I mean, all we need to do for this is clean out the kind of crappy Cyma green snotty grease, which I've already done here. So, I mean, as you can see, I'll just show you the air seal, which is surprisingly good. If we can just get it. Oh, the cylinder head's not quite sitting straight. We'd need to put it in the gearbox to show you that. But yeah, the air seal is pretty decent. It doesn't have an O-ring on the nozzle, so if you're wanting absolute consistency, that would be one thing that I'd recommend replacing there. But in terms of value for money, it is very good. And yeah, so what we've done in the gearbox. Nice polish on the piston rails there. We've put in some FLT 7mm steel bushings. FLT are excellent quality. I use them in all of my builds now. So if you head along to FLT on Facebook or Brill Armories over in the States, pick some of them up, and they're very well priced. So, and they're also slightly thinner than a lot of bushings are, which is good because then you don't have the protrusion on the outside that can cause issues with selectors and things and some of your recoil guns and so on. But yeah, in here we have the nice beefy gears, so these are gonna essentially last forever. The Cyma gears are pretty good quality here. You'd have to work quite hard to strip them. There's not really much else to say. The bodywork is decent. It's steel. It is painted steel, which is the only thing I'd like to see is a nice kind of blued steel like the Real Sword version. But for the money, still excellent. And so the pièce de résistance. So here we have the SVD hop chamber. Now the SVD hop chamber is probably the best design ever. You have a square block that moves absolutely vertically. It's held in place by a little kind of two little square keys on the side. It cannot self-adjust due to vibration, so you get absolute vertical pressure. So I mean, this is perfect for an R-hop. So what we've done is we've had an excellent tight edgy barrel, so we're going to get really good air efficiency with this, excellent range with the R-hop. We've just kept the stock hop rubber because it's pretty good quality. It's going to seal well against that nozzle. and this assembly here is going to give us some beastly range. There's not really much else to say. One thing I will note, aside from the kind of the pansy wiring, we're going to replace that wiring with an Airlab MFET, just a simple, small MOSFET. You don't need to use active braking on these. It can play havoc with the extra gears and the kind of the high torque nature of this. But so we don't really need active braking on this setup. So we're just going to go with a standard MFET for here, and that's going to replace all our kind of thin wiring. Now, this stumped me for a little while. This is the grip on the front. So we've got a trigger that sits in here and the bar that goes back to the gearbox to activate it. Now, to get this whole thing apart, there are two little screws that just sit in here, and you've got to get them from this side, and that allows you to pull apart the barrel assembly to get this thing stripped down properly. Now I must have taken out every screw in the whole damn thing until I finally thought, right, okay, they can't have been silly enough to put screws in there, but no, they are. So if you're working on this, those are where the screws are. You've got to get a long, thin Phillips head, kind of like this, to get right in there and get those screws out. It's a pain in the arse, but once you've done that, the whole thing just comes down really, really nicely. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now where's the motor? I was going to show you the motor. Here we go, off to the side. So this is a really nice motor actually. Good strong neodymium magnets in there. Kind of see it's quite tricky to turn that. What we're going to do with this one is we're going to replace the brushes with some nice Systema silver brushes. I'm not sure if you can kind of see in there, but the shunt wires to these brushes are little piddly thin things. They're maybe, what, 1/4 of a mil wire. I mean, that's just pitiful. So we'll replace them with much chunkier brushes with the chunkier shunt wires, and that's going to give much more power to this motor. The whole thing's going to run just that little bit faster. So yeah, that's it. Kind of too long, didn't watch. If you just want to skip to the end, it's a really good value for money gun. Just needs a little service, a few little tweaks here and there to get some absolutely beastly performance. I would recommend this. Yeah, it's a really nice gun, and the Bullpup kind of configuration just helps keep it nice and short, compact, and it's an unusual gun. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you later.